Welcome back to another episode of the AJ Sports Podcast. I am one half Anthony Carboni. To my right is the other half Justin Vilche. The Stanley Cup Final is officially over, and the Florida Panthers are back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. What the fuck kind of world are we living in where Brad Marchand goes to Florida after getting traded for a conditional second-round pick? He wins the Stanley Cup. Seth Jones 4 months ago was on the Chicago Blackhawks, who were almost dead last in the league. He gets a Stanley Cup. Vanecek, who was on the San Jose Sharks, gets a Stanley Cup. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. This is crazy work. Kachuk back-to-back champs. Reinhart back-to-back champ. Sam Bennett, guy who's a fucking free agent, looks like he's going to get a bag this summer. Just won the Conn Smythe Trophy. 15 goals in 23 playoff games. Absolutely outstanding work from the former Calgary Flame. And the other side of it, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl losing back-to-back Stanley Cup Finals in Florida to Florida. Let's talk about it. But first, we got to say what's up to the boy Justin. What's going on, bro?
We're doing absolutely tremendous today. I couldn't be happier, with the result and with everything panning out.
Because you're a hater.
We have multiple.
You're a hater. That's why you're happy.
We have multiple. I have multiple people. I got a flame today. I got a lot. I got a lot of things to say because some people are in denial. And let's just kick it off because I don't want to waste no time.
So let's break it down. The last time we recorded a pod, we both predicted Edmonton would win in 7 games. However, did not happen. Game 1, we saw a very intense overtime. Florida going up 3-1 in the game. Edmonton coming back, and Draisaitl getting the OT winner. The next game, double overtime. The Panthers win. They tied at 1 apiece. Game 3, Panthers just absolutely demolished the Oilers. It was like 6-1. McDavid and Draisaitl could do nothing. Game 4, another close match, which ended with Draisaitl getting the OT winner, tied 2-2. And then after it was 2-2, I honestly thought the fact that the Oilers came back in Game 4 and tied the series at 2 in Florida, best of 3 with home ice advantage, you think they would come out strong out the gate in Game 5. That wasn't the case at all, as they lost 5-2, and Brad Marchand, newest addition, newest Florida Panther, just made his presence known, scored 2 big goals and got them to win 5-2, taking a 3-2 series lead, going back to Sunrise. And then in Game 6, it was the Sam Reinhart show. 4 goals for Sam Reinhart in a clinching game. That is, I don't know what, I saw the stat, but like back-to-back series clinching, Stanley Cup clinching goals. He did it last year, and he did it this year. He scored 4 fucking goals, and they win 5-1 on home ice. And for the second straight year, the Florida Panthers hoist the Stanley Cup. The fourth time in 5 years, the cup has been in Florida, in the state of Florida. Twice with Tampa back-to-back, and now twice with Florida. Oh, Lord. Justin?
Wait.
What?
You just said 4 times. You just said 4 times in 5 years it's been in Florida.
Yeah.
When were the other time?
Tampa? Twice.
No. I meant like who were the teams that like took it out of Florida?
Vegas and Colorado.
Oh, right. And sorry, who plays for Colorado?
Nathan McKinnon plays for Colorado.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, just had to, remind me. Yeah.
But
okay.
Yeah, I mean, we got to give props to the Panthers. I mean, what a team. What a fucking team.
Yeah.
Both of us knew they were going to come out of the Eastern Conference. That was in our bracket. It looked so obvious. Every team in the Eastern Conference did not want to play Florida first round. Tampa didn't. Toronto didn't. And whatever fucking wildcard team didn't. No matter where Florida finished third in the Atlantic, you did not want to play that team. For me, they won the whole trade deadline. They got the best goalie.
Yeah, no.
They got the best goalie, clearly. And just an all-around fucking well-built team. Built for playoffs. They can score. And a team that can play really well with the lead. The Florida Panthers this year. My goodness. What an effort. Kachuk battling through like a hernia and he ripped a muscle off his... like something shit
abductor.
Like that. Hip abductor, whatever the fuck. He comes out and he fucking gets 7 points in 6 games, 3 goals, 4 assists. That's a solid series if you ask me against the Edmonton Oilers. Shutting down McJesus. McJesus got shut down again. Game 6 and 7 last year, he didn't get a single point. And look at this. Game 6 this year, not a single point. as much as I love McDavid and I think he's one of the greatest to ever lace up the skates, unacceptable. Unacceptable that he lost back to back Stanley Cups. Now, a lot of people are going to say, I'm not going to say this myself, but a lot of people are going to say, oh, what if they had Hyman? I don't think Hyman would have been made that much of a difference. He's a smaller guy. He can crash the net, but I feel like you could put anybody in that situation. And I feel like McDavid and Draisaitl could have just made a bunch of those players better. And they didn't. They really didn't. And listen, I'll let you talk, let you speak and say what you have to say. But yeah, we both were wrong. We thought Edmonton would win, but as a McKinnon fan yourself, and you pushing for McKinnon as the best player in the league, this must be really, you know, you must be really happy. So go off on, you know,
Yep.
supposedly Canada's
So
team.
so yeah. So first of all, Canada's team is one of the most absurd things I've ever heard in my life. Everybody knows that the Toronto Maple Leafs are Canada's team, and the
Toronto-
Leafs will be the one to. I just started talking.
The
And-
Maple Leafs are not Canada's team, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah,
Bro,
all right.
bro.
We'll talk about the Leafs in a
No,
second.
nobody cheers for Winnipeg. Nobody cheers for Ottawa. Nobody, like, come on, dude. Like, just stop. Okay, first of all. Second of all, the Leafs will be the ones to end this Canadian curse because the Edmonton Oilers are the biggest frauds I think I've ever seen in my life. Where do I even go? Like, where do I even start? The whole Zach Hyman thing is complete nonsense because I'll tell you this: Corey Perry was scoring goals at a rapid pace for a 40-year-old man. Okay, so they were getting goals from other people. So I don't even want to hear the Zach Hyman nonsense because guys on Florida were literally injured as well. Okay, so just stop. Okay, the narrative has got to be shut down. Okay, that's another thing. Two, Stuart Skinner. I'm sorry, but yesterday that was absolutely
That
atrocious.
was one of the worst goaltending performances I've ever seen in a Stanley Cup final. Like that rebound control is absolutely insane. Jesus Christ.
Especially the one where he's standing up and like just goes off him, and the rebound is like sitting right in front of him. It's like, dude, you're in the Stanley Cup final, bro. Like, honestly, I was at a loss for words because I've
How
never
does
seen
a
that
team
in my
without a
life.
starting goalie get to the Stanley Cup final? Explain that.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Because, bro, they were getting. Remember, I told you the Edmonton Oilers are the luckiest team in the NHL, bro. You will get Skinner for 6 games riding a hot hand, and then Calvin Pickard out of nowhere 7 straight wins. I tell you, they were the luckiest team in the NHL, and the luck ran out. But nobody wants to listen. That's fine. So that happens. Okay, Stuart Skinner, awful. Draisaitl, I saw him try the series, but just had nothing left in the end. And you know what? He's also kind of fraud, but
Listen,
I'm here to talk about Mixel.
I think Draisaitl was probably the best player in the playoffs for the Oilers.
No. He was, but again, to the end of the series,
He got shut down. His body shut down because he wasn't producing. He was getting locked up defensively. Like Barkov, man. I mean, two Selke nominees and a Selke winner, you know, on one team is, you know, it's pretty hard for them to score. But I give props to Draisaitl out of anybody on the Oilers, especially comparing to McDavid, who you want to talk about right now.
Yeah. So all the McJesus fanboys are all in denial. I've talked to many of them, and they can't give me a single reason. They try and defend him because about his 8 points, bro. In the finals, bro, he can stat pad all he wants from games 1 through 4. But again, when the games get tighter and the games get closer, he is a no-show. He's McGhost, he's McFraud, he's McSell. And I've been saying this for the past 2 years, and nobody wants to listen.
So you said McGhost, McFraud, McSell. That's what those are his new nicknames.
Yeah. So we already knew about McSell, but after what we saw, it's McGhost and McFraud. Okay, because look, last year. I will continue to bring this up. We watched it.
We watched Game 7 last year. We watched Game 6 last year at St. Louis in my basement. We watched it together, and we saw him do nothing.
Did nothing, bro. So, and then this year, one goal in the Stanley Cup final, bro. Guys who are considered the best player in the league are not putting up one goal.
Brad Marchand put up 5.
Brad Marchand had 5. Reinhart had 4 in one game. Okay, so it's completely it's inexcusable because he had 1 point in games 5 and 6. Like, bro, your season's on the line, and everybody hypes up. I'm not kidding. Mixel is one of the most overrated players I think I've ever seen in my life. Dude, he can stat pad all he wants. Yes,
That's a little outrageous, eh? You think he's the most
it's not.
over? You think
It's
he's the
not.
most? You think he's the most overrated all time,
No,
or one of them?
no, 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 no,
One of
no, no,
them.
no. Well, one of them, one of them. Because,
Wow.
bro, again, he can stat pad all he wants in the regular season. Yes, we know he's skillful. All of us have seen it. But again, when the games get closer and the games get tighter, he is absolutely invisible. And I've said this before, but nobody wants to listen. That is no problem. Again, you cannot be considered one of the best players in the league when you haven't won a single thing. And let me give you a list of players. Okay, Crosby lost his first Stanley Cup. What did he do? He came back and won it. Gretzky lost his first. What did he do? Came back and won it. McKinnon, 1-0. He ain't lose nothing. He already won it. Mixel, already 0 for 2. He hasn't done it. Let's go over to the NBA. People think Michael Jordan is the best player of all time. Why? Because he's won his championships. People think LeBron is the best of all time. Why? Because he's won his championships. And the things that he's done in big moments and big games. Okay? We can go on a list. Steph Curry, Kevin Durant. What have they done? They've all won championships. Kawhi Leonard, when he was with San Antonio, people thought, okay, Kawhi arguably is the best player in the league. When he came to Toronto, after he won, people were like, okay, Kawhi's top 2. Why? Because he's won the title. Jokic, I personally believe, is the best player in the NBA right now. Why? Because he's won the title. People think Giannis. Why? Because he's won the title. Let's go over to soccer. People think Messi is arguably the greatest of all time. Why? Because he's done it. He's won the Champions League. He's won the World Cup. Maradona, Ronaldinho, Cristiano Ronaldo. People think he's the greatest of all time. Why? Because he's won his 5 Champions Leagues. Again, I just gave you a list of guys who have done it all and won it. McDavid hasn't done it, bro. So nobody can come to me and tell me, oh, bro, McDavid is McJesus. Oh, he's the best player in the league. Bro, you solidify yourself as arguably the best player in the league or the greatest of all time by putting up big performances in big games and big moments. And I haven't seen that yet, bro. Yeah, sure, he can score the game-winning goal in the Four Nations. But who was the MVP of Four Nations? Oh, right. Oh, Nathan McKinnon. So again, Mixel fanboys are in denial. They say, oh, because of his 8 points, oh, he actually played well. Dude, he could play well in games 1 through 4. I've seen it with other players on different teams, but when it gets to crunch time, they go invisible. And everybody talks about Matthews and his 1-goal performance, all series against Florida. People gotta have the same exact.
They got to play both. They got to play both sides. You can't just not say anything about, like, you can say one thing about Matthews, but you can't say the same thing about. You got to say the same thing about McDavid, considering he didn't fucking do anything for the 2 clinching games.
You gotta have the same heat on both guys, bro, because it's unacceptable.
So will you admit Matthews and McDavid are frauds, both of them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, both are frauds.
I've already admitted Mixel is one of the biggest frauds I've ever seen in my life. Because, bro,
yeah, but your boy, you're admitting your boy's a fraud.
Yes, Matthews. After I can't defend that anymore.
You can't defend
bro. It's been 8, and there's nothing for me to say that can defend him. Okay, so yeah. Also, Marner is one of the most biggest frauds I've ever seen in my life. Again. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah. So again, Mixel, McFraud, McGhost. This is now the 2nd year in a row. There's no excuses. Okay, he did nothing in the biggest game of the season yet again, and it's like, dude, that's all you gotta. That's all you gotta show me. Like like Verhaeghe had 2 points. Former lead had 2 points yesterday. Barkov had 2 points yesterday. Reinhardt had 4 goals yesterday. There's no excuse now for Mixel and Draisaitl. Like, that's it, bro. Like. And it's really funny, how these Mixel fanboys are still in denial. Yesterday, I took to that 5'3" Jonah Hill looking ass Mini. Okay, yesterday, and I told him,
calling out Mini. What did Mini say? What did Mini have to say?
I did, and I told him, is the debate finally over? And he's like, McDavid more better. I was like, what? And then I was like, how? Then he's like, oh, because he had like 8 points. I was like, so what? Did you not just watch tonight? Like, are we serious? That fake Latino insanity. That fake Latino. I told him, McKinnon is better than McDavid, and he has no answer. And he's like, you're debating a guy who doesn't watch hockey. I'm like, dude.
I mean, okay, you're debating Sandy. Like, come on, like, what are we talking about here? He doesn't know a damn thing.
So hold on. I wasn't even debating. I just told him the straight fact that McKinnon is better, and then he's like, oh, you're debating a guy who doesn't even know hockey. I'm like, bro, didn't you watch today? How was McDavid? He's like, oh, You played okay. I was like, what? So okay,
This is,
whatever.
I can't.
Fake like who doesn't know hockey, whatever. Daniel Daniel Raponi. I talked to him today. He's like, oh, you actually can't blame Mixel because he actually put up 8 points. I was like,
So
dude,
everybody's defending McDavid because of his 8 points, but he did nothing in the last 2 important games.
being serious, bro. Everybody gets on Matthews. Everybody gets on Marner, JT for not doing it in the big moments. But now everybody wants to defend guys like Mixel and Draisaitl for not doing it in big.
Okay,
like,
but at least McDavid and Draisaitl could get to the cup final and pass the second round, unlike fucking Marner or whoever.
So what happened? Oh, so what? We always talk about the Dallas Stars making it past the second round, and what have we talked about? Oh, they need changes. Oh, their guys haven't stepped up. Oh, their coach needs to be fired.
Yeah, there's something's got to change over in Edmonton culturally. Something.
Even Mixel post game was like, "Oh yeah, we just kept doing the same thing over and over and over again."
And it wasn't working. So change it up then.
Okay. So the coaching gone, goaltending.
Hold
gone.
on.
That's
You think Chris Knobloch should go? He's in his second. This is his second season, and he went to the Cup final twice. You really think he should go? I think Knobloch, with what he was given with Jay Woodcroft after Woodcroft got fired, he's been given the tools. He basically got two of the best players in the league. A shitty goaltending situation. They still went to the Cup final, went to 7 games. This year they went to 6. Whatever. I think now if you
with a better team.
With a better team, arguably, I think Knobloch should stay. His coaching staff is fantastic. Defensively, the Edmonton Oilers have looked a lot better with Paul Coffey, but there's got to be a personnel change. You got to get rid of some of these players. New goaltending is a must. You need a starting goalie. If you're in Game 5 or 6, and the question is of the Stanley Cup final, by the way, you're down 3-2, and the question surrounding your team is who should I start in net, is actually fucking insane. If you don't know who you should have a starting goalie by Game 1 of the regular season, not Game 6 of the Stanley Cup fucking playoffs. And I blame the general manager, and I blame the GM for that. How the fuck can you trust Stuart Skinner after everything you've seen? He started 0-2 in net, didn't see the ice until when? When did he finally start playing? When Pickard got injured against Vegas? I think Skinner first saw the ice Game 1 against the Stars. He didn't play the whole second round. Yeah. What the fuck are we even talking about here? Seriously, that's a goaltending problem. If the Edmonton Oilers had Sergei Bobrovsky, they would have won the Stanley Cup. It's arguably.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah.
It's arguably the goaltending. Most certainly, it's the goaltending. Something has to change, and I think the goaltending is one of them. As for the rest, what do you think?
Hold on. I wasn't done. I wasn't done cooking, people. So those are 3 guys I just cooked right there because they clearly are just in denial. Oilers fans on Twitter, oh my god, dude! These tiers are absolutely sensational work. Honestly, like I just love seeing.
What have you been reading?
Oh, dude, it's like they're just crying, and they're just like, oh, if we had a better goalie, oh, it's not McDavid's fault. It's like, dude, you guys can complain all you want, but again, you guys have no cups, so that's absolutely tremendous. Twitter has been.
McDavid is trending number 5 right now.
Oh, well, probably for a shitty performance yesterday. So all those guys I got to cook. I got to shout out Dante one time. Dante, our boy, because I texted him. Yeah, I got to shout out Dante because I texted him yesterday, and he's like, dude, all the guys in the friend group owe you an apology for your debate. Yeah. The guys saying that, you're crazy about McKinnon and McDavid. You're not crazy at all. And I was like, thank you, Dante. You're a real one because you actually know puck. And honestly, you are the next one I'm going to cook because you were the one that told me that, dude, Mixel is going to win the cup because of people like you. And I was like, yeah, okay, it probably will happen. And you know what? I actually accepted the fact because I saw all these stats, Crosby, Gretzky, okay, McDavid's going to be, the next one to do it.
Yeah. Listen, I'll take the heat for that.
I survived 2 years in a row. I survived 2 years in a row of the Oilers going to the final and all these Mixel fanboys in my ear And look, they're all crying today. This is tremendous work. You know what McKinnon did? He went to Tampa, stopped the dynasty, knocked out the Edmonton Oilers during that cup run, and he won the cup in Tampa Bay. He raised the cup, something that Mixel has not done yet. Oh my, this is, oh,
Listen,
thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Hockey Stuff. Thank
listen. I'll take the heat for that because I honestly thought with the way I saw in the Amazon fucking Prime series, McDavid fucking yelling at his team, you think that he has another chance to get this? I guess the same team with home ice advantage. You think they play well, and all of a sudden they lose in one less game in 6. Serious conversations need to be had. I understand you went to the cup final and you pushed it to 6 games, 7 last year. But like, what else are you gonna do to get over that hump? The Panthers have built a playoff team. They don't have guys making over 10 million bucks. They've got Bob at like I think Bob's the only one at 10. They have nothing over $10 million that is winning the Stanley Cups. You cannot in the NHL. It's been proven time and time again. You cannot win with multiple superstars on a team. Are we not being proven of this? Besides McKinnon and Makar, we have not seen a team do that. The Golden Knights. Who was there? Did the Golden Knights have a McDavid on their team, or a McKinnon, or a Kucherov? No, they had it.
But Tampa,
Tampa had Kucherov. I understand. And Hedman. Okay, Hedman. But like, I'm talking like where McKinnon and McDavid are at, and having multiple of them. Like Kucherov, I understand. Hedman is more of a defenseman. A lot of teams don't have a Leon and McDavid. It's impossible. It's hard to get. And now we've seen the Florida Panthers, a team built with rats, built with dirt, built with fucking guys that'll push in front of the net, cross-check you, win all those board battles. They just won back-to-back Stanley Cups, and none of these players are making over $10 million besides their most important in Bob. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
The idea of superstars coming together, like look at the Leafs for example. Multiple fucking superstars making over $10 million. They can't win a damn thing. Look at the fucking look at Edmonton right now. McDavid and Draisaitl have been together for what, 8 years, 10 years almost now. Nothing.
Yeah, around.
It took them this long to get to the Stanley Cup final. They did nothing. They couldn't fucking win. The Panthers. Listen. We could talk. I'll talk more about Edmonton, but I have to give Florida their fucking flowers. I doubted them again. I doubted them against the Oilers. I had Florida going all the way to the Cup final. I had them beating Tampa, I had them beating Toronto, and I had them beating Carolina. I'll give them credit. They did a really good job of shutting down McJesus or McSell or McGhost or whatever Justin wants to call him now. They had a great. They had a field day with Draisaitl towards the end, and they got the job done once again. Injuries and everything. I gotta give a shout out to Brad Marchand. I mean, what a fucking gamer that guy is. What a beaut who you would want on your team.
Yeah.
And just know that could have been Toronto that won the Stanley Cup last night. Just know Brad Marchand with his overtime winner off of Riley and in. You know, after blowing after almost going up 3-0, by the way, could have put the Panthers to the break, by the way, and taken them out of the playoffs. After that game, the Florida Panthers build the series back up. Knock them out Game 5, knock them out Game 7, 6-1, run over Carolina in 5, and then handle McDavid and Draisaitl, put them on leashes and dog walk them out. Because that's what good teams do. They shut down top players, and that's what the Panthers have done throughout the entire playoffs. Tampa, Kucherov couldn't do shit. Matthews couldn't do shit. Marner couldn't do shit. Aho couldn't do shit. Jarvis couldn't do shit.
Dude, that Marner's been that's for like almost a decade now, bro.
Nylander couldn't do shit. He got shut down too.
Yeah.
McDavid and Draisaitl shut down. They have a really, really good team. They went to the finals and they won 2 cups. And honestly, if they bring back everybody, I can see them doing it. I can see them doing it again.
Yeah. You could create a dynasty.
Honestly, complete the three-peat. This team, I feel, can so do that. A healthy and all this talk about Bobrovsky over the past years, oh, he's inconsistent, he's whatever. Man, look what the fuck he just fucking did. This motherfucker just won 2 Stanley Cups back to back. As clearly the best goalie in the league. I'm sorry, Connor Hellebuyck is not the best goalie in the league.
No, no, no,
I
no,
don't give
no,
a
no.
shit if he won the Hart Trophy.
Is,
I don't care if
is,
I don't care if he won the
fake is
fucking
that first
Vesna.
one.
He's one of the biggest frauds on planet Earth. I don't
Yeah,
care. And he's American.
yeah.
We don't like that shit, bro. Fuck him. He's shit. We love our Russian boy Bob. Okay. He comes out
Also,
here with all the hate for years. He shit on Columbus. Oh, he's inconsistent. He's inconsistent. Comes to Florida and then wins back to back cups. What are you gonna say now?
yeah. Nice Hall
What
of Fame.
what are you gonna say now? He's a first ballot Hall of Famer in my opinion. Could be better than Roberto Luongo all time if you ask me, because look at what he's accomplished. Um, Defensively, Seth Jones, a whole new system. You go from playing with Connor Bedard and Lucas Reichel and whoever the fuck Chicago has, okay, to coming into a system where you're built like a brick shithouse on defense with Ekblad, with guys like Mikola, with guys like Forsling, just a disgusting unit on D and just fucking lighting it up. Oh man, he fit in so well. And that guy
Yeah,
he's gonna have a lot of success in Florida. I mean, he already did. He just won a Stanley Cup already. And
yeah.
forwards,
He's loving
we gotta give credit to the forwards. Obviously, the OGs like Barkov, Verhage, Reinhardt, but Bennett, holy shit! What a player that we just saw develop over these past playoffs. Did go heading into this postseason? Did you expect Sam Bennett to win the Conn Smythe? Did anybody have
no,
that? Did anybody have that in their bingo card? Absolutely not.
no.
He comes in and scores 15 goals in 23 games. 15 goals
Yeah,
in 23 in grueling hard playoff games against Tampa, against Toronto, against Carolina, and against supposedly best player in the league. Not anymore, it seems. He scored 15 fucking goals in those 23 games. And he won the Conn Smythe. Playoff MVP. That guy deserves over $10 million.
on a contract. On a
He
contract. Yeah. You already know.
every goal he scored, he upped his fucking bid by 250 grand. That guy is gonna get paid in the offseason. But I truly believe the Panthers should re-sign him. Obviously, you just won the cup. You cannot let any of these guys walk. I don't care what anybody says. You are keeping all of these mans. Another person I want to give credit to, Brad Marchand. You know, a guy that owns Toronto, has owned him for years. You know, a team, you know, the Panthers beat them 2 years ago in 2023. He goes to the Panthers. If you can't beat him, join him. And that's exactly what Marchand did. He looked dominant. All this guy was doing, all he had going for him was vibes, Dairy Queen, and Stanley Cups. That's what Brad Marchand was living throughout these playoffs. Dairy Queen after every fucking game, before every game, and this motherfucker wins a Stanley Cup. How could you not love Brad Marchand? I would love him on my team if I'm any fucking team. So I think he has to go back. If I'm him, I'd be stupid to leave the Florida Panthers. I'd be so you get no tax on your money. You just won the Stanley Cup. It's warm. It's Florida, and it's Florida. It's amazing. Brad Marchand, I got to give a lot of credit to.
Yeah.
What
No
what
point. No point in coming.
what do you have to say about the before I talk about the Oilers? What do you got to say about the Florida Panthers? You got to give them some credit at least.
No, no. Yeah, yeah. Huge credit to Florida. I mean, everybody talks about them not having their taxes and stuff, but like, dude, Bill Zito did his thing. I mean, he got Forsling off waivers a couple of years ago. He was an absolute beast. He traded for Marchand. I think he traded for Reinhardt as well.
Yeah.
Traded for Seth Jones. And it's like, dude, like people can complain about the tax, but like, dude, it's just good general
No,
managing
but
overall.
Gary Bettman
Like,
said it. Gary Bettman said it best. When Florida was shit, nobody was saying that back then.
yeah,
When
yeah.
when they
So
were a joke of the league, nobody was
yeah,
saying anything about tax. All of a sudden, they start winning, and then now there's a talk about it.
yeah. People start complaining. It's like again, people don't want to see these teams win, and then they'll create excuses. And you know what? That's just how it works all around, in whatever you do, really. So, you know what, dude? Florida Panthers got to embrace it. Back-to-back cups. Some fan bases can only dream like me. Some fans can only dream like me. So, congrats to them. Marchand absolutely deserved it. He's not a certified loser like Corey Perry, that fraud. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
we'll talk about Corey Perry. We will.
go.
He's collecting the Infinity Stones of losses.
Oh,
That's what he's collecting.
losses. So, Barkov, solidified, I think, our take of him being a top 10 player in the
Oh,
NHL. Just
Barkov is better
Yeah,
than
Barkov's not in the
than
AHL. Like, still.
Barkov is honestly a top five player. I don't care. He's a top five player. He's better. Listen,
Yeah.
listen.
And
I think he's better. I think he's a better center than Eichel. He's a better center than Braden Point. He's a better center than Austin Matthews.
yeah.
Period. Period.
Yeah. So, um, yeah, Barkov did his thing. Verhage, shout out to him. Former Leaf.
Former Leaf
I'm
in
glad.
Verhage. Yeah.
You know, it's nice to see Verhage win because he
Glad
really wasn't. Glad
you gave up on him, Dubas.
Yeah. He was a fucking clown. So yeah, it's nice to see Verhage win because he really wasn't treated fairly here. He wasn't really given like that much of an opportunity. So shout out to him. Kachuk, playing through injuries. Reinhardt 4-goal game, something that Mixel couldn't do.
4-goal game is crazy.
A 4-goal game in a clinch game. Wow, it's honestly like impressive. So yeah, I mean, shout out to them. The third line of Louis Dorainen, Marchand, and Antoine Lundell. Lundell is like a baby version. Yeah, Lundell is like a baby version of Barkov. Like it's like, dude, it's like good to both offensively, defensively, and it's like just absolutely shutting down people on the third line. You know what? Antoine Lundell, shout out to him. He was absolutely tremendous. And yeah, dude, even the defense, like Mikkola, Schmidt, Ekblad, that absolute cheater. You know what, dude? He got his cup again.
Yeah, I know, right? All the steroids he took, he got him a Stanley Cup.
All the steroids he took, he got it done. But yeah, no, dude, shout out to Florida. They saved me from people coming at my head. So shout out to them again.
But your head, Florida, your head would have been on a spit, bro, with all these McDavid.
Oh yeah.
Stanley Cup, huh?
The amount of even in our friend group, like everybody in our friend group would have been on me, bro, today. But like, you know what? Nobody can say shit to me. So yet again, so we out here living life. So yeah, shout out to Florida. No bad. Florida. I respect y'all. Really, I do. I have no hatred towards Florida. They beat us, but like that was just because we were trash. And they just completely outplayed us. So yeah, Bennett's gonna get.
So yeah, you say that, right? They really outplayed. They really outplayed the Leafs.
Yeah, they did.
Do you think the fact that it went to Game 7 was a lot closer? Because I was saying earlier, Games 5 and 7 weren't close at all. The series did not feel as close as it was. But what did you think? Apparently, it was the hardest matchup. I mean, the only team to push them is 7. But according to Matthew Tkachuk, Tampa was the hardest match.
But again, he's trolling.
He's trolling.
Yeah, he's trolling, just like Paul Maurice. Again, once the alcohol kicks in and once you know that nobody can dethrone you, you could just troll all you want. So that's what they've been doing the whole time. You know what I mean? So it's like that's why they were talking about even after defeating the Leafs. Like Paul Maurice said something about like I forget what he said, but I knew he was trolling. Oh yeah, about the media and stuff. Obviously he was trolling because like dude, he just won it the previous year, so he can just say whatever he wants. Nobody can really talk to him about anything. So again, Florida played dirty. They did their thing. They got the cup, and you know what? You can't really hate on it. Because I'll tell you right now, if the Leafs played dirty and won the cup, people would be mad, but I would be saluting all the Leaf players. So, you got to respect it. They did their thing. They hit in the goalies. And how many times are we watching a game? I'm like, dude, punch the goalie, bro, knock him out. How many times have I said that, bro? And they were doing that thing.
Yeah, my thing is, Oilers fans were complaining about Bennett doing it to Stuart Skinner, and I'm there like, why don't you just throw Corey Perry in front of the fucking Florida net and do the exact same thing? I don't understand. I don't see why you wouldn't do the same thing and fuck with Bob like that.
Yeah. Oh, also, Evander Kane, certified loser. He didn't even come up for.
Yep, he didn't come up for the handshake line. We saw that.
Like, come on, man! Like, just stop, bro. So again, Oilers fans, they deserve to be in tears today. All the Oilers players, especially McFraud, he deserves to be in tears. Yeah, dude, this is tremendous, and I'm looking forward to this offseason. I'm looking forward to next season, but yeah, oh my gosh, this is. I can't stop smiling. This is tremendous.
How crazy is it that now we're finally done with hockey? Oh my goodness,
right?
Man. It's actually insane how it's finally over. Fuck, man, mid-June, and we got no hockey to talk about until July 1, which is the trade or the free agency. But I want to talk about the Oilers, before I think we got nothing really else to say. We'll wrap it up shortly, but yeah, man, tough. Very tough for Oil Nation. Back-to-back Stanley Cup final losses is not ideal. McDavid. I mean, you got to have some serious talks with your GM, and because at the end of the day, it's going to probably be McDavid's choice on what happens with this team, right?
Yeah.
He needs to
Oh, yeah.
if he wants to leave, come to Toronto, he can do that, or he might stay. I can't see him going anywhere else. It's either he fucking comes to Toronto, or he stays in Edmonton. I don't think he wants to come to the Leafs because of as much pressure as he faces over in Edmonton, it's gonna only get worse over here because of people like you on Marner's ass all the time.
Stay away, bro.
You're gonna do the exact same thing to Mixell, and he's gonna fucking regret coming here.
Yeah, yeah, I will.
Just like, why do you think no one wants to come to?
He's got to stay warning him right now.
You are one of the reasons why players don't want to come to Toronto. It's that's it. And listen, you as a fully grown adult player who's established in the league, you should be able to handle that pressure and shut it down and play better. But McDavid, honestly, he needs to figure out what he has to do with his team. He needs to rip Stuart Skinner's contract to pieces and put in the paper shredder. He needs to go find a starting goalie. Hopefully, bail Carter Hart out of jail and fucking put him between the pipes, because I think that's probably their best option if they want to if they want to get a good goalie. I'm just saying they need Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard are not going to win you.
Carter Hart wasn't even good.
But I feel like if Carter Hart was on a better team, he'd be better. Draisaitl, you just signed a fucking 8-year, $14 million deal. What do you do from here? You're stuck with this team probably for the rest of your career unless you request a trade. And I don't know how happy he would be if McDavid was to leave. I really don't. I cannot see McDavid out of a Edmonton Oilers jersey. So the future lies on McDavid. The staff, I think you need to do a huge assessment on the team and see, who's worthy of bringing back to the squad. Because guys like Evander Kane, I don't know if he can keep up with the league anymore. He wasn't, I thought he was going to be a difference maker in the series. Did fuck all. He was supposed to be their Kachuk. He was supposed to be their fucking Marchand and fucking be dirty and go hit people. He's playing soft. Guys like Darnell Nurse, who you locked up for $9.5 million for him to be your third or fourth best D-man. What the fuck are you going to do with that? He does absolutely nothing for your team. Nothing. Like, you got Wall. I mean, I like Ekholm. He played great defensively. Bouchard, he's getting better, but like, man, you got to fix a little bit of that back line. The depth of the Oilers. I mean, they were doing a lot more scoring in the clinching games than the top unit was. Paul Colson scored a couple. Like, Henrique was scoring a couple. Janmark was scoring a couple. So yeah. I mean, Edmonton's just got to do they have to take a huge look in the mirror and see what's wrong with them. And I think it's going to be up to McDavid on what happens with the Edmonton Oilers in their future. But tough loss. You regroup and you try it again next year, because that's pretty much it. You finish the season, you try again, and you try. McDavid will be in his 11th season, and he's 28, 29 now?
Yeah, that's wild. I mean, yeah, he's approaching 30. I guess Excel is the brawn of the team, right? So it's like the management's going to go to me like, okay, what do you think we need to change? Just like how Braun in LA, Rob Pelinka was like, okay, what do you think done? So again, this team is going to score as McDavid can bring them. So, and he hasn't brought them no title. So good luck. Also, again, people on Twitter, I really got to stay off Twitter. This is pissing me off. People on Twitter are like, oh yeah, dude, Mixell to Toronto. Okay. Did Brad Treliving not just talk, or was it Keith Pelly, talk a couple weeks, changing the DNA in this team? The Leafs are known for choking and not showing up in big moments. Why would I want McFraud to come here and not perform in big moments? Do people not realize, I've talked about this, I don't care about your regular season performance. Yeah. When it comes to the big moments, he's ghosting. The Leafs ghost big moments. It's been happening for the past 12 years in Boston.
Why would you get a guy who can't perform in big moments and bring him to a team that can't perform in big moments like the Leafs? Doesn't make any sense.
Do you see what I mean? Like, so what? I'm literally just replacing Marner with Mixell. Like, it makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it legitimately makes no sense. And then again, people on Twitter are like, "Yeah, dude, let's bring McDavid. Let's bring McDavid." Bro, like, we just saw the Leafs not do anything in big moments, and then now they want to bring a guy who does nothing in big
What the
moments.
fuck is
Like,
he gonna make on his next contract? How do you think the Leafs can afford that?
dude, he's gonna want at least 15, 16, 17 million,
He's gonna want the
obviously.
most
So
out of
again,
anybody.
you're gonna pay the dude the most money who doesn't perform in big moments. Tell me how that makes any sense. Like, I'm so sick and tired of Leaf fans on Twitter just talking nonsense, bro. I'll tell you right now, I do not want Mixell on my hockey team, bro. Any other fan base will be like, "Oh yes, dude, Mixell." But bro, look at the big picture, bro. He can do anything he wants in the regular season. He can win us Hart trophies. But again, big moments, he is a ghost, bro. He's Mick Ghost. He's Mixell. We've seen it. I'm tired of this, bro.
Wow.
I'm so sick and tired of this. You can win a chip without Mixell. Every team has done it. Literally every team in history has done it. We don't need Mixell.
Look, look at the Florida Panthers. Did they have they didn't have a guy with that skill set, and they just won back to back.
No. Like, people are blind and naive to what they're actually seeing, bro. They just think of the big name and it's like, yeah, we have to get that guy, bro. Just because he's a big name doesn't mean he's that dude, bro. Like,
he's just not that dude, bro. He just proved it. He's not.
Like,
he's not the guy that people said he is. It's a shame to say
he's
because
not.
I've been a fan of McDavid for years. Like, the way he plays, man, like it's generational hockey. I mean, like, I've seen the guy fucking do things a lot of players can never do in history, and you know the fact that he can't fucking win in the big moments is it just proves your point. It just proves your point, and I feel now. You know, a lot of teams are going to look at this and say, do we really need to build a team surrounding superstars and getting a bunch of guys that, you know, have a great skill set? I don't know. Because if I'm a lot of these teams, I'm looking at the Florida Panthers and I'm like, you know what? I want a team like that. I need a team like that
Yeah.
can fucking grind out teams and wear them down every game and just bit by bit take them out slowly and just do what they got to do. And
yeah. Bro, let's not forget, this Florida team had depth. The Tampa Bay Lightning had depth, bro. Goudreau, Blake Coleman, Andre Palat. Like, depth everywhere, bro.
Depth
like,
across the
again,
board.
you don't need a bona fide superstar to win the cup. Like, we've seen it happen many, many times where depth and defense wins the chip. Like, again, Colorado, they had a mid goaltender in Darcy Kemper when he was there. His save percentage was what, 900, 899, I think. And they still won it. Why? Because they had defense.
Wow.
It's something like that. They had a Norris candidate, which Forsling should have been a Norris candidate last year, but he got absolutely robbed. Panthers had, you know, obviously Seth Jones back in the day, a couple of years ago in the bubble, he was Norris worthy. So again, it proves my point. Teams need a Norris caliber defenseman. They need depth and good defense, and you'll be fine. That's it. So, yeah. So, you know, it's kind of a dark day here in Ontario. It's looking like it's rainy.
Yeah,
it's gonna rain soon. But you know what?
Fucking poor.
But you know what, dude? It's been all sunshine for me. So it was absolutely tremendous.
And
you know,
I think that's gonna wrap up this episode of the AG Sports Podcast. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. What do you have to say? What do you have to say before we end off?
You know, who's the best player in the league?
Connor Hellebuyck. You won the Hart Trophy. Oh man, I'm just trolling. It's Kucherov. Okay.
Okay, man.
That is going to wrap up this episode of the AG Sports
Next
Podcast.
Next time we hang out, and we're in front of everybody, I'm going to ask you the same exact question.
Yeah.
Who is the best player in the league?
And I will give you an answer. But we will...
It's funny. It's really funny how you can't say Mixell now. You can't say Mixell.
It's not McDavid. It's Sam Bennett, maybe.
Who is it?
Sam Bennett. It could be Sam Bennett.
Sam Bennett?
Could be Brad Marchand.
But it's
Could be
it's
the whole point of what you're trying to say, and I agree. The best player in the league is not McDavid. It's not. Because if you are the best player in the league, best players in the league can win in the big moments. Connor McDavid has proven back-to-back years that he and his Edmonton Oilers can't do so. And therefore, not the best player in the league.
Thank you.
And that is where we are going to wrap up this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, tell your friends. 2 weeks from yesterday will be the draft, or at least not the draft, the free agency. Where will Mitch Marner sign? Where will Sam Bennett sign? Where will Brad Marchand sign?
Far away.
We will find out in the next 2 weeks. Oilers fans, take the day off. I mean, it's already 4 o'clock here, but it's 1 o'clock over there. Take the rest of your day. Take a nap. I don't know. Have a piece of cake. And just remember that they don't pay your bills. Don't get too mad. They don't pay your bills. They don't pay your mortgages. So, but yeah, for hockey fans across Edmonton, not sorry. I mean, you got to look at your team in the mirror and say, the fuck, guys, what did you guys do? Shout out to the Panthers for winning back-to-back Stanley Cups. You deserve it, clearly. And I think that's it. Is there anything you want to say?
Anything I want to say? I want to say I've been right all along. People are finally coming to realize what I've been seeing for the past couple of years. This is absolutely tremendous work because now people are realizing that Justin Vilche, one of the best hockey minds in the entire world, is finally proven right yet again. And and I just hope that all Oilers fans realize that they're not going to win a cup for a while now. And I hope they all know that McDavid is probably going to leave y'all, and you guys will be left with nothing. So yeah, and that the next team, the next Canadian team to break the Canadian curse will be the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's it. And shout out Nathan McKinnon because he actually got the job. So, and that's it.
So we will see you guys on the next one. Take care and peace. Been a great NHL season.